This news coming in this morning from Craig Hope, who was very good in the Daily Mail around the Sesko deal in the summer, you might remember. He says Manchester City are ready to make England midfielder Elliot Anderson their top target in 2026. The word inside Premier League rivals is that it will take a fee in excess of 80 million to sign him. City are said to be aware that both Liverpool and Man United will be interested in Anderson, and there is a feeling that a player who will likely be an England regular for several years is too good to pass by. He is their preference over Adam Wharton. And look, I want to get into the Amorim stuff from yesterday. I know Terry and Beth have spoken about it. I think one thing just to pop in your head that we'll talk about in a few minutes' time. Amorim speaks in depth about the characteristics of the team still need to be worked on and we're a work in progress. I do, even as somebody that wants him to succeed, say, why after 12 months are you still talking about a team that lacks intensity? I think that reflects terribly on the manager unless there's a bigger reason here. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But look, to improve that intensity and to improve the characteristics of the side, you want to bring in players like Elliot Anderson. And I draw your attention to comments this week that have come out from David Ornstein, Laurie Whitwell, other journalists around Man United talking about Elliot Anderson being the priority for Manchester United. And people get very excited about that because they think if he's the priority, we're going to sign him. But the reality is that Manchester City will want him. Liverpool will want him and other clubs will want him. And are we not walking down the same old track that we did with Kenda in Ineos a year ago? Oh, we want Kenda. Doesn't mean we're going to get him. People had him in our best 11 in February this year because Ornstein said Man United want Kenda and they were putting him in the team for the summer and the team next season. And, oh, if we can just get through this season, we've got Kenda. I'm seeing people doing it with Elliot Anderson and I'm like, hold on a minute. Do you never learn about this football club? Elliot Anderson's the priority. What chance have we actually got of getting him? If we haven't got a clear run at him and he's not cheap, that's two big barriers for United straight away. Ineos don't want to pay over £70 million for anybody and they don't want to go in a battle against anybody because they will lose. So already I'm looking at it and I'm going, it's going to be Belieber. It's going to be Belieber on the cheap because nobody else wants him and that's what it'll be. Because Elliot Anderson as a midfielder is absolutely... It's correct. Tick in the box. He should be a priority for Manchester United. You watch him play as a couple of weeks ago. You look at him week to week. You look at his stats. You look at the eye test. You look at him playing for England. You look at what he's doing for a club that's in the bottom half of the table. You know, I'm not saying, we bought Roy Keane from Nottingham Forest. He's not Roy Keane. Forget about that. But he is potentially a Declan Rice like from West Ham. He's potentially a Caicedo like from Brighton. He is a player that's definitely got to move. A McAllister from Brighton. He's certainly a player that can go from a certain level to a top level. And you want that at Manchester United. But we've got to stop falling into this trap of, we're going to buy a midfielder in the summer. It's going to be a top midfielder and Elliot Anderson's the priority because that's just spin. That's just journalists doing what they do because the club are telling them to do it. And basically, it's getting you to renew your season ticket. It's getting you to buy a bloody Man United kit for Christmas. It's playing on your emotions that, let's ignore how bad the reality is because in the future we're going to do this. And are we going to do it? I'd sit here now and say the chances of us signing Elliot Anderson have got to be 25% or lower. Nothing higher than that. But you read the headlines and everything, and everyone's sort of like going, it's a sure thing. He's a really good midfielder. He would massively improve our team. But it will come at a price and there'll be competition. And I think it's, I know that's what we need, but getting that done is going to be really, really, really difficult. And I think when it's only November still and you've got Man City in there, imagine what it's going to be like come March, April, May, when the real negotiations take place. We're still 4 months off that and we know Man City are in there. We know Liverpool are in there. It could get better. It could get better for Forest. It could get better for Anderson. It could get worse for United. And remember, the price will go up the more people are involved. So I think it's a really difficult, look, breaking news on a Saturday morning. I think that Elliot Anderson deal is really difficult for Manchester United to do in any circumstance. Even if we were in the top four, even if we had Champions League football, which is not guaranteed, and that's a really difficult deal to do, and people need to wake up and smell the coffee and stop falling for the spin articles about him being a priority. You know what? You might be walking down the street today and see somebody who's absolutely gorgeous and say, that's my priority, I want to marry them. What you might not realise is they find you very unattractive and they're already married and very happy, you know? So your priority doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get it, does it?